Hey guys doing? Welcome in. We're doing some music for CBS Sports. We're writing a couple cues today and hopefully have some fun. So if you're interested in Sync Man, ask some questions. More than happy. We're going to be hanging at least for another hour and try to make as many tracks as we possibly can. You don't know what's going on, man. Yeah, Ableton's a little bit tricky. It's a lot of it looks like an Excel spreadsheet is what people like to call it. Hey, what's up, Phil? Thanks so much. Yeah, dude. Ableton, man. We can't loop the pattern because it's all MIDI or it's all audio. Yeah. We're not using like a sample or anything to re-trigger. We're just doing this. And the benefit of that is that you can actually chop up the audio more. So like, for example, if I wanted to like go in here, right, and then I wanted to stretch it, I can and do it easier just with that single note. And that when I do go back into context, that one note will be different. So yeah, that's really the only benefit of that. Like what you can do, like drum programming and stuff. Like obviously, patterns and MIDI can sometimes be faster, but I like doing everything on the grid. Even my drums are like that. For this track in particular, like we're not really going for anything crazy. Like we're just kind of using a break loop and then adding some other percussion later on, which is fine. So. this to be like a horn or something. You're quick. I Try to be, man. No, it's not gonna be in key. I'll just add the woo again, this thing. Do you prefer MIDI to trigger instruments, VSTs, or recordings? Do you prefer MIDI to trigger VSTs? It depends. Like for like programming, like this is like a resample that's just chopping up the loop, kind of like what a MPC would do. I like doing it for that and also using it to resample. Like if I had a one shot, love using MIDI for that because it's a pain in the ass to have to do that every single time where you're like retiming each individual, audio section. But it depends on the case. You know, it's like if I know I'm going to go back in and like go crazy with it or want to change things more, then I will definitely go back in and make it easier for myself is really what it comes down to. There's no like right or wrong way to do it. It's really like, are you planning to, make adjustments? Are you planning to, you need to do something later on that require more flexibility? Yeah. Produce music, but curious how to get started in the commercial scene like sports. We have an open brief, dude. If you want to work on some stuff for CBS, we're trying to do like a joint album with a bunch of producers. So if you want to send in any ideas, click on my profile. There's going to be a video on my page about the process and how to submit your tracks. Check it out there. Yeah, we're looking for songs. We're going to be opening submissions until probably the end of January. So you have like 2 weeks to submit something if you want. And yeah. I'm mapping this to a video. It's all just background. So this is like a sportscaster would be like, hey, the Warriors did great tonight. They hit 5 out of 43 throws. And it's like, that's what it's for. So yeah, it's like mainly background music. So it doesn't need to be super complicated. It's more of like a easy listening kind of vibe. So that's what we're really trying to push for. But like engaging enough where it's like if you're watching it, you're not going to tune out, a little bit more upbeat. We're trying to give them a lot of different stuff just to make sure that they have enough. What's up, Fuego? How you doing, dude? Welcome in, guys. But like I mentioned before, if you have any questions on sync, dude, ask away in the comments. I'm going to be trying to crank out as many tracks as I can, at least in the next couple hours. So, yeah, excited to have you guys here. Do this one. Resample that just to add like more pitch bending. And one thing I really like about Ableton 12 is, oh my god, the bounce in place, it saves like an extra like 5 to 10 seconds every time, and it's so nice. Like, ooh, if you're on Ableton 11, dude, I'm telling you, man, upgrade. Worth the time, worth the effort. Pause variation, yeah, exactly. Like, it's just a loop, We're trying to like this we're gonna like really wash out or something. This one I'm gonna do RC20, just get a little more color. I do stirred. What do you mean? Like all production? completely different pitch. We're actually gonna take these out. Do a different progression here. Just was a little bit different. Yeah. If I make K-pop beats, gonna get signed too. Yeah, you can get signed by anything. The real question is like, why do you want to get signed? You know, unless they're giving you an advance and they're, you know, doing something for you, like. And they add like a riser there or something. Now we're on 12. We've been on 12 for a while. 11's been out for like a really long time. Yeah. Literally like such a long time. Yeah. And not saying like you have to upgrade. I was on 11 for like a really long time before I was like, maybe I'll do 12. And I think it was a good switch, but I was like, there's no real rush, you know, you don't have to drop everything and buy it now, you know. Okay, what length are we at? Okay, we're at 1:15. It's perfect. It's about how long we want it to be anyways. Symbol transition. Nope. That's a better one. What kind of beats are you mainly looking for before I submit? Upbeat, nothing dark. So we don't want like it's CBS, you know, they're not looking for, you know, rage type beats. They're not looking for anything crazy. They're looking for, you know, hey, you know, what would your mom listen to for hip hop? You know, what did she grow up listening to? So kind of like more old school, more orchestra based, more string, more brass. Easy listening is kind of what we want to go for. We really want to avoid anything that's like too crazy. Yeah, because that stuff just doesn't get placed. It just doesn't get used because there's not really like a, hey, we want something insanely aggressive, you know? I'm gonna add one more hit too. This one's good enough if we take out the bass out of it. That's cool. Big drums. Gotta love it. You're on 10? That's fine. You know, 10 is good. Like the thing is, it's like when you switch from any Ableton upgrade from like 10 to 11 or 11 to 12, like it's gonna feel a little annoying in the beginning because they remap the hotkeys. So there's certain things that like don't work anymore. Like Command, or Command Option G used to be like show and hide the groups or the groove pool, whatever it's called. Now it's like Command Option 6, which is really annoying. I'm like, why? That doesn't make any sense, you know? G is group or G is groove, you know, it's the same starting letter, right? It should be easy to do that, but I don't know why they did that. There's a couple other things too, like the mixer view is like, what is it? It's like Command Shift M, yeah, which I like. This looks clunky. I don't know. Personally, for me, like, I never use this view, and I hate I hate it. I'm like, what the like? There's too much going on, dude. Like, I'm not mixing with these. You know, if anything, it's like then you have to crank these faders, or you remove the sends area so you can't see this, right? But it's still like there's too much. You know, there's almost too much, and you can obviously remove some of these and take them out depending on like what you actually want to see. But yeah, no, it's a little. I'm gonna get a bigger clap for that part. And just snap school. Gotta love all of her stuff, man. Everyone abuses the hell out of it because it's good and it usually fits like 90% of the bill. Let's take these out and then do this. Okay. I would say it's worth it, dude. If you're like, for me, it's like I business expense it because I'm like a full time producer, so I can. It's like it comes out of my income, but it's not free, but it's like I get a tax incentive write off, I guess, for it. I would get it. I don't know. I produce on Ableton every day, and like the workflow has been nice with 12. Yeah. Okay, these need to be slightly behind because they're too early. And then pan them. And then add another hit there. It's repetitive, we're not going for crazy section changes and stuff like that. Like, it doesn't need it, We're trying to go for, is this going to get placed a bunch of times? That's what we want. Thank you so much, Falco, for the share, dude. Appreciate you, man. What's up, Naya? Thank you so much. I don't know if Naya's still here, but yeah, exactly. That is the whole point. We're going for sports. Basketball. It's only like 185 it's not a full band to justify somehow. What's up, Nika? How you doing, dude? Said you the length for these tracks? Yeah, like a minute and a half, minute 30 is a good length. Like anything longer than that, like it's gonna be it's like honestly too long. Like most placements are less than a minute of usage. So that's gonna be like you're gonna use a full minute of the track and that's it. With that in mind, like a minute to a minute and a half to even 2 minutes, honestly, is a good length. Like this one, I think with the stinger ending, it's like a minute 20. That's good enough for me. Yeah. BPM is 89 beats per minute. Yeah. A sports song in. Thank you so much, Alan, for the call, dude. These are not actually in key. I need to pitch these up. That's cool. I do agree with the echo, whoever made that note. Good call. I'm going to add a little bit more reverb too. Still like a little off. Let me see if I can nudge these. Cool. And this is where we'd add like one more thing for the final course. This contact instrument is kind of cool. It's a cool, like, brassy, organic sound. So, yeah. Highlight reel, yeah. We're going, it's fully, like, what is the, I think I told someone earlier, it's like, what type of hip-hop would your mom want to put on the radio, And if you have a mom like me that's like, oh, my God, it's explicit. Why is it so crazy? It's like, happy. That sounds awful. I'm gonna use Keyscape actually. That's one other thing I bought for Black Friday. Keyscape. Ooh. Oh, BPM is 89 beats per minute. 89. And what's? No, it's crazy. It's kind of cool. The drums, you're gonna hate me, dude. The drums are from it's just a splice loop, dude. Yeah. And it's like, in my mind, like I could make this from scratch. Like I can draw it through one shots, I can draw the groove, but like it does everything I need it to do. Therefore, like I don't really need to go back in, and I don't like, it's not worth the time. Really, essentially what it comes down to. For a lot of sync stuff like this, like the real magic is like how fast can you make a track from start to finish and get it ready for, sync, right? Like the editor doesn't care how long you spend on the song. They don't care like what sounds or whatever you use. They're like, hey, like does this fit like the picture that we're trying to pair it with? And if it does, great, amazing. Yeah. Your mom raised you on my crazy. It's all mixed, yeah. I had to mix everything. I'm running it through mastering as well. It can't be quiet. Like, get an organ too. It'd be cool, like a roll organ, something. Like a. Organ. You want like a weird. I need the Omnisphere actually, I think. Get some better organ sounds. What's aiming for? Like 8, to be honest. That's kind of cool. It's kind of better. I'm just gonna tuck it and then run like an amp on it or something. So it sounds a little bit not maybe too much. Maybe a progression. Sound with the sample though, the chop. Yeah, and then we'll resample it. We're on Ableton 12. Yep. Ableton. So you can change your piano roll to. Yeah. You could just you fold it. Yeah. If you go here and you press, I don't think you might not be able to see it, but you can put it to scale and then fold and then highlight. They each do different things. So like scale, we'll just lock in whatever scale is for the global scale set above here. Fold will just only show the notes that are in the MIDI trigger, even if the ones that aren't inside the actual active clip. So like if I went here and I picked D sharp, which isn't in the key, and I press fold, it's going to still show it here, even if it isn't in the shown MIDI. Highlight scale will just highlight the notes that are in key. That just makes it easier to see. Most of the time I'm just working in scale highlight unless I want to have like a cool chromatic weird moment. Then I'll drop it, you know. So, jeez, that's loud. Let's turn that down. Get a triangle. Almost done. I'll add like one more loop, I think, another percussion thing, because the drums. Cool. Let's try it. And then stinger. Which is basically just like a, oh shit, okay. Cool. What's up, Nep? How you doing, dude? Talk to your make it fit. The instrument might be just too loud. You might also have something else in the mix that's causing it to clog up. I would recommend always cut before you try to add anything. And if you like don't really need, like most of the time, you don't need to layer like 4 or 5 sounds together. Like you should be trying to get it done with like 1 or 2, because when you have to mix it, it'll save you time, and it's also just less annoying to have to mix less instruments that are getting the same result. Yeah. What's up? Nope. I'm not on Twitch. No, I just do YouTube and TikTok. Yeah. I don't think I have a Twitch audience because I'm afraid of setting that up again because it was a pain in the ass. What's up, Mango? How you doing, dude? How do you get into sound bites for such a big company? CBS Sports, like they're always looking for background filler stuff. I work with a library that has a direct connect with them, so they send everything directly. But yeah, they're always looking because they want to have music that sounds fresh-ish, you know? So that's really where we come in. Even though you use Special Life, do you use Special Life? What is that? Okay, I was like, what the fuck is Special Life? I don't use Arcade. No, I've never used it. No. Maybe if they want to sponsor, they want to send me a copy, I'll check it out. But yeah, I usually just stick to what I know. Yeah. Is there anything expert sense for these tracks? It depends on the library. Yeah. How do you get placements? You reach out to libraries directly and you see what kind of music they're looking for, and you try to give them exactly what they want. That's what it really comes down to. For like bigger cuts and bigger placements, we're going to be working on with a more exclusive library. I actually have a series on my YouTube page you can check out. Just click on my profile. I also post videos on TikTok, but doing like a full in-depth guide on like how to actually get your song synced. So if you have a question there, write a comment below and I'll answer it in another video when I get around to it. Yeah. Where's your snare peaking? DBFS? That is such a stupid question. What? That does not matter, dude. It's a mix, man. It's literally just a loop. So, what's up, William? How you doing, dude? Stream on YouTube. Do you work for Diamond Vine? What? Vertical, maybe. Yeah, I have it set on vertical just because my main audience is on TikTok. Like, there's not really like appeal from YouTube, so that's my reason why. And that way, like with Restream too, it's like it's easier. Yeah, playing from the top. basically it. And then I'm just gonna organize it. I think this track is done though. And keys, vocal. Usually I have all this organized, but for this stuff, I like to just do it when I get to it, kind of thing. String, tonal, keys. This is another keys. What is this? I guess organ, yeah. It's brass. I think these are all brass. Yep. Thanks so much, Pandoja. And thank you so much, Felgo, for the, I don't even know what those are, but thank you so much for the gift. Appreciate it, man. Where do you master or do you? I do it all by myself, yeah. If you need mastering, dude, hit me up. I charge $50, but can get it sounding loud and proud and good, yeah. String. But sorry, yeah, what I was saying. For libraries, it depends on, sometimes I want stems, sometimes I don't. It's all brass. No, this is a string. So like with that in mind, like you don't have to always have that stuff ready. I like to set up my sessions where all the groups are going to be the different stems I might need, but I already am going into that with the library in mind. So if I work with like library A, for example, I already know exactly the file types and the things that they're going to want. And it just saves me time because I don't have to ask them. It's like, oh yeah, I know exactly what you guys need. Let me just set my project up while I'm working on it to be exactly that. So yeah, not everyone works that same way. Some people like having the template already built out and then they like do stems after. That's totally fine. There's no like right or wrong way. I just like doing it this way because I'm trying to streamline the workflow as much as possible. Like it shouldn't take me 4 hours to make a track like this. It should take me like an hour, 2 hours maybe. Now we're just basically high passing everything that doesn't need any low end. And we're running everything through mastering already. It's just quiet because we're running Sound ID on the limiter. That's fixing all the shit in my room, so it's making it sound a little bit cleaner and a little bit better without having to treat my room. You know, it's definitely like a Band-Aid fix, and you know, if I was in a more permanent location, I would pay for sound treatment, but it's just expensive. So yeah. Do you copyright the beats? No, Micah, no. Usually not. Like for stuff like this, just trust the library that you're working with. Obviously, like if they're not a good fit or they're sketchy, then don't work with them. Yeah, but most of the time, yeah, most libraries, like they don't really handle copyright registration like that because it's just not, to be honest, like it's not really worth the cost. It's expensive to get stuff like properly copyrighted with the Copyright Office. At least if you're in the States, it's just a little bit expensive. And most of the time for this stuff, like once it's registered with the PRO, like you're kind of good, you know? And like if someone did try to steal the track and do whatever with it, it's like, well, you can, you know, try to prove yourself in court for whatever the song generates, which isn't going to be a lot for stuff like this. So it just depends on how much time, you know, people are really anal. Like if you were an artist, right, and you were pitching your songs, original tracks, and you were like, you know, worried about that, then I would make the case of, hey, you should maybe spend some time and learn how to copyright everything. It's really easy to do. But yeah, sometimes it's a little overkill for this type of stuff. Yeah. The only thing I'm gonna have to do after too is like route the sidechaining properly, which is gonna be a pain in the ass because it's a loop. So I need to create my own trigger and use that as a way to what's it called? Sidechain everything to the kick, essentially. Yeah. What plugin for the synth? What synth? What synth are you talking about? Yeah, it's a good way to make, I mean, I don't know. I've never had it happen before, to be honest, and like, so that's why I'm not too worried. But like, I've done copywriting before, and it's like, it was for tracks where I'm like, wow, you know, I really want to protect this, but I'm like, it's just not, you know, if you have a budget for it, great, go for it, you know. But there's ways too to like avoid having to pay for every single track. Like instead of it being like a you know, you have to pay like 40 or 50 bucks for the each half of the song. So like think of the what's it called? The songwriting portion and then the actual recording. There's different copyrights. And you have to register both separately, and it's expensive. It's like $100 per track. Yeah, exactly. So what people will do is they will, which I don't really know how much legal standing this has, but they'll basically take like 6 months worth of material or like a full year worth of their catalog, put it in like one file, and then register it as like, this is everything included. Or this is like, hey, this is my album that I worked on, where, you know, all that stuff is there. Yeah, that is easy way to do it. You know, you pay one time and you're basically getting to save quite a bit of money because of the way that's working. But yeah, there's no like right or wrong way. Okay, we're gonna ignore that sidekick. Just because we don't really need to do. Yeah, that's good enough. Okay. Do we have that one? No. Okay, we're skipping that one. Good. Yep. The other way to do this too, for anyone that's curious, like if you are working with a loop and you're like, I want to sidechain everything to the kick because the kick is going to be arguably the loudest part of the track. What you can do is just duplicate the clip like this and then go into beats mode. Set it to like the lowest as you possibly can. And then you want to freeze it, flatten it, and then you can then just delete the parts that you don't want. I'm doing it kind of the long way. But like with this, like it's a little bit easier because I already know like where everything's coming in and out. I'm missing a kick there. What the heck? I'm missing a kick here. Okay. There's double kicks on the downbeat. Okay. Good. And then we're going to take this, do that. Delete these. So definitely like a longer way to do it, but longer in the sense of like it takes an extra like 5 seconds, but it's fine. This is what I have to. This is my what I have to deal with when I want to get it cleaner. Okay, so now we have this kick, which has a bunch of garbage on it. So we're gonna basically turn it into transient mode, and then we're gonna actually commit all this to audio because I don't want to have to fix it later. So that when we want to trigger and change the transients, we could just do it all at once with the one clip. The trick is you have to keep it in warp mode, and it has to be in beats mode for that. But now we have a trigger that we can use that's going to be muted, so it's not playing. But now we route everything to this sidechain mix, and that's going to force everything to duck, which is what we want. And literally, we're going to send everything to it because it just sounds a little bit cleaner. And that way we get a little bit more bounce, a little bit more groove. There's always a good thing. Always a good thing. Okay, let's play it from the top. So this is the track roughly finished. I still need to probably get it louder, but yeah. Yeah, it's almost there. I'm gonna turn up the cloud particle a little bit more. Maybe the L8. It's way too loud. It's weird. Let's do that. And then I want a roar there or something, like a No, that's the wrong instrument. Almost. Maybe not. Maybe this one. Yeah. Cool. And then ending there, we can actually extend these out a little bit more. Because we want like a more of like a tail end. And then we'll add a kick too. Maybe no bass. Where is it? Let's try. Cool. And then the fade out is natural here. Cool. So this is what I like doing too, is like I always like to draw in the fade out so that it goes to zero, completely zero at the very end, because it sounds like shit if you're going from this and then there's like a weird cutoff on the tail for the reverb. Gives you more control and makes it easier. Yeah. What's a B kid? FC Mobile. Nice. I have no idea what that is, but it sounds like a cool cut. Congrats. What's up, Ray? Thanks so much for the all, dude. How do you get a gig for CBS? I work with a library that has a direct connect with them. Yeah. So we send stuff through the library and then they get us more cuts. Bit of an annoying click on the right side when the kick hits. What are you talking about? What? It might be this thing. I'm actually going to lessen the sidechaining. It's a little bit too much. I mean, we're pretty aggressive with it, so. Cool. Nice. Congrats, dude. It's a huge cut. Yeah. Any like, you know how it is. Any place we can get any cut, it's like, it's good. I assume you're not getting any royalties though, probably, because it's a mobile game. There's no like collection for that, but it's still good. You know, a cut is a cut is a cut. And yeah. Does Ableton make your CPU fans run all the time, dude? Yes, it does. I was on a 2019 MacBook Pro for a really long time, and let me tell you, that thing fucking sucks, dude. Like, okay, let's save this as demo 2. Okay, that computer sucked so much. Like, you instantly open it, the fan is cranked. Like, it's going at like, I would have a monitor and it's like 190 degrees, fucking burning my thighs while I'm having it open, and it's solely because the like computer doesn't know how to cool itself down. It doesn't know what to do. It doesn't know how to do that. So what ends up happening is that it gets really hot because you open a program like Ableton that uses a lot of the CPU, basically computing power of the computer, and like the computer can't handle it. So rather than spreading the load onto the cores that it has, it just overloads one core, overloads the fan, and then shuts off. So, yeah. So for a while, it was just that. It was having to deal with the computer shutting down, having to run like ice packs, having to like take off my case to like have the fans available. It just wasn't. So I finally upgraded. I'm on an M1 Pro. I got this a couple years ago. It's okay. It's definitely like maybe showing its age now. It is like a little slow. I'm now running everything in non-Rosetta mode, meaning that ideally that means that everything should be going faster, but yeah. So that's the way it's been. Yeah. What's up, Dominic? How you doing, dude? Yeah, I've been doing a lot of K-pop, dude. That's really the only excuse I have. A lot of K-pop for the past couple days, and yeah, it's been rough. A lot of due dates, a lot of stuff that I'm like, man, I just wanna. You get Tahoe? No, dude. I'm on like, what am I on? Ventura, dude. I'm so slow to adopt because I'm just like, I'm not trying to lose my computer, dude. I need to be able to work, but yeah. King. God, the melody's awful, but I'm trying to switch it up. We're gonna do like more trappier this time. Kick. What's up? Yeah, thanks for the follow, dude. What's up, Mister? I'm doing it through a library, but same kind of thing, through a sync agent, basically. Cool groove. And then fix the synth. Cool. That's good enough. Thanks, Dominic. Yeah, we're doing 2 pitches that are due in the end of the month, and then after that, I'm literally just doing K-pop, so I'm going to be pausing everything else because I need to make tracks, and that'll be... I'll probably stream too. I'll probably stream the making of them. Those are like more intense because I'm like, my brain, it just gets fried. But yeah, those will be fun. We try to be churchless. Yeah, do the Hockey Man. That's it. I just use a trackpad. I don't use like a ball mouse or anything. Yeah, I like it. It's a little bit closer together, faster. Yeah. What's a fart salad? Thank you so much for the follow. That's a very interesting username, but I dig it. Oh, using that pitch, I've gotten tracks in several libraries. What's up, NJO? Since you're pausing for sync, are there any other artists on TikTok that you take submissions? What do you mean? Take submissions for what? Yeah, Mister. Like for any of those like sync places, like obviously, like if you're paying them to submit, it's kind of like I don't really know if it's worth the deal. Just because of like. I personally wouldn't spend money. That's what all I'm gonna say. Yeah. Like the EP. Oh no, yeah, we're still taking submissions for the sports stuff. Yeah, that's gonna be open until probably January. It's more of like, um, I'm not gonna be like pushing for it hard though. Like the goal is to get like a bunch of ideas sent in, and then I'll probably like work on them through the week when I have time. Not saying we're like completely abandoning the project. That's not the goal. It's really like switching my focus. Because for that stuff, like it's really quick. You know, I'm not really spending more than a couple hours per track. Yep. Makes me the Wasp Mole. What? Thank you so much, DJ Fresh, for the fall, dude. Okay, let's see if we can get an open hat or something. Make money. Okay, I was like, that's what I assume you meant, but I was, you never know. This is for general sports too, so like, if it doesn't work with CBS, it'll work with another, you know, ESPN or whatever. Are you grabbing sounds from Splice? Nope. This is all just from drum kits. Shit. Is this a creative flow state you're in, or is this repetitive formula found? Yeah, well, the other track I had done most of the work yesterday, so like I'm not too worn out yet. I will be though. At some point, I'm gonna be like, wow, I don't want to work on this garbage. Yeah, right now we're chilling. My main recommendation is like, I feel like with the creative burnout, it's more of like, don't overthink stuff. And then try and take a break from staring at your computer. That is the main thing I will say. This one I'm actually going to resample to with like a simpler. Been having a lot of fun with simpler lately. Okay, slice. How do I delete the slice? It's kind of cool. Yeah, kind of sick. Do gate. Just elongate. scale. Turn off scale. And turn this back on. It's kind of cool. And just get another cut sample thing. What's up, Abstract? How you doing, dude? Way too aggressive. One other trick too, for anyone that's watching, is that if you can't tell the key of your 808, for example, if the sample just isn't written anywhere, if it's just like 808.5, it's like, well, that doesn't tell me anything. Just pitch it up an octave. So if we go for this one, right, pitch it up an octave, or play it now. We can't hear it really, but if we pitch it up an octave, we can tell it's the wrong note. So it's like. Now it's in the second key, and we can check with the tuner, just double check. But our track is in F minor, so now we know. Pro tip: that's if you're like don't want to use something like mixed in key, or like have to manually find it, or use like a Pro Q3 or a Spectral EQ to like identify what the root is. Yeah. Yep. What's up, Raven? Do you think one sync really gets you in? No, it's like, it depends on what type of licensing and what type of situation you're in. Like for me, like I got a PlayStation commercial, I think last week, and we didn't even know it was a thing until like a couple days later after it came out. And with that, like that library is a blanket license library, meaning that we're not making any money on any like upfront fee. It's all just going to be on the back end. So it's a cool placement, and it'll definitely lead to cooler things later on, but it's not something that's going to like completely change your life unless you're getting like a big placement, like a movie trailer placement, even like a TV placement, and like a non-reality TV is like a good cut and a good amount, but just depends. Yeah. Oh, what's up, May Clinton? Ableton or Pure Ableton? Yeah, I like Ableton more. That's the only one I've used. I used Logic for a little bit, and I just didn't really like it. It's very similar to GarageBand, which was initially why I was like, oh, maybe, but no, I like Ableton better. Let's fix this 808 pattern. just do the off, like the boom, 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 boom. Do like a roll or something. Nudge this one back maybe. Sounds better, yeah. Less weird switches. Okay. Let's get a choir. There's like a Gregorian thing that's kind of cool in here. Downbeat it. The int. We'll pitch bend it to or something. Bounce in place. Okay. Cool. Is this Pro Tools? No, do Ableton. NFL draft. That's typical. We're going for stereotypical. Yes. That's what we want. It's your main instrument. I don't play an instrument. Yeah, it's fully in the box. Yeah. I don't play keys. Don't play piano. Don't play guitar. Like a it's kind of cool. Obviously I need to go back in and fix the cuts because it's cutting them at the end, not the complete end of the cycle. So it's gonna be like because there's a weird chop, but we're gonna fix that real quick. Need a rapper? Nope, not for this one. No, we're just doing stuff for TV underscore. So we're only instrumental. Yeah, vocal albums, like at least for this stuff, like I tend to avoid because the vocal parts are just never really used ever unless you're going for like a higher sync. That's gonna be more money. So yeah. Yeah, most like hip hop rap tracks have like, we're gonna pitch it up actually. Very structured the same. Like they tend to use more organic, orchestrated cinematic elements. So vertical impact. We'll use that. I use that a lot actually. The same one. F string. There's this one. Everyone. Just way down. Okay, I'm gonna loop it because I need to go pee. But be right back, guys. One sec. Roanoke, shout out Renee. What's up? One benefit of having a bathroom in your studio. Turn off. One second. What's up, Mojo? You just use OBS. OBS. Yep. You can set it up to change the aspect ratio. So that's it. That's all I gotta do. I would explain further, but it's just keep dropping my water bottle. It's just OBS with the vertical format. Yeah. And then I'm using Restream to restream it from my computer to TikTok. TikTok lets you do Restream. You can't like set it up unless you have a basically like you need a PC. To do it properly, where you use like the TikTok Studio and you can do it all in native. But I'm using Restream because I work on a Mac, so it's a bit of a workaround, but it works. Oh yeah, you guys are gonna hate this. I think this is gonna be a cool. I'm basically building up as much as I can here because I'll use it, restructure it later. So it's like. atmospheric. We want some staccato strings. Thank you so much, Felco, for the gifts. Appreciate you guys hanging out. Okay. Let's try this. It's not gonna be good. No. Some whimsical shit. We don't want that. We want it to be aggressive. What up, Jukebox? How you doing, dude? This is all through a library. Yeah. Arguably, I'm spending way too much time on something like this too, because it's just a CBS Sports placement, man. Or, you know, ESPN. Who knows? It just gets added to a library, and then they do their best to pitch it out to hopefully a place that'll use it. Yeah. Yep. But if you're interested, I'm doing a sync project. We're looking for tracks. So if you are a producer and you want to get your hands on some sync stuff, send some ideas. I have a link, or I have a video on my profile you can check out. It has all the details and stuff like that. So. String somewhere, like the violin is good here. What's up, Chaka? Yeah, dude, it's like compared to anything else, I just like it more. More control over your music, higher chance to actually see something happen from it. I mean, the thing with sync is like it's just another form of ways to monetize your craft, right? Why not? You know, why not? It's quote unquote free to send stuff, you know? Yeah. Okay. Let's spice this up a little bit. Basically adding in ghost notes. So a ghost note is like a really maybe not audible kind of rhythmic, still tonal thing that adds a little bit more movement to the percussion, which is cool because instead of it being a boring ass piano, it's like even this is like not, it's like the notes are just playing a bam bam bam. It's not human, you know, it's sounding not real. So we're trying to add in a little bit more movement there. Cool. Take this. Same thing. And then we're actually going to apply that to the I think the string will sound okay with it. Maybe. Shit. Why can't I solo it? Plugin for the strings. Sorry. Contact session strings. Yeah, it's the one that comes with complete. It's okay. You know, it does the job. It doesn't sound great, but it's fast. Why is it? My S key is not working for some reason. Thank you so much, Cow King Cassius, for follow, dude. Appreciate you, man. Thank you so much, Ace. Thank you so much, Mojo. Appreciate you guys for following. That's not English. Thank you guys for following. Appreciate you. I'm like sputtering my words. I haven't streamed in a long time, so my voice is not up to speed. Okay, S is not that. What the fuck is happening? I don't know why it keeps going to Keyscape. That's not what I want for S. Okay, I'm gonna make a new session, and then I'm gonna go back to this one, and hopefully that'll fix whatever the hell's happening with my Ableton shortcuts. That is not what's supposed to be happening. Yeah. What's up, DIL? Thanks for the follow. Appreciate it, guys. What's up, Dale? For this, dude, it's just like use what you have. I was like with more sync stuff, I do recommend people that really want to dive in have like just the basics of have access to like strings, brass, live real instruments is really important. So Spitfire is a good library and a good company to look at. The second one would be just like the general Kontakt library. Like you don't need complete whatever it is, like the Ultimate Collection. I bought that years ago and I haven't upgraded since because I'm like, I don't need to upgrade. Everything I have right now is all I need. But having something like that, having like Omnisphere is really good, but just like having stuff that's going to sound real is really important because a lot of times for these briefs, you're getting, hey, we want something that sounds like a real piano, or we want like piano hip hop. And it's a lot easier to have a library that sounds good and decently sounding real before you start composing, because it's really hard to make like a splice preset piano sound great unless it's like resampling another piano and has a bunch of other stuff on top of it. So yeah. And not saying like you need to dump a bunch of cash, but like have the bare minimum is really what I would recommend, like having everything you need. Okay, S is still not working. I am freaking out. It's not good. Okay, I'm gonna hold up. Let me fix this. I gotta reopen Ableton. My thing is all wonky now. One sec. Video capture. Nope. This one. No, I do that one. Okay. All right, we're gonna reload Ableton because all my plugins crashed. Any tips for networking? I have good songs, but don't know where to pitch. My best advice would be signing up with something called Music Library Report. Researching like what libraries are looking for your specific style of music, and then just reach out to like 10 of them today. Like, hey, my name is blank. You know, this is the genres that I make. Would love to submit tracks. If you guys are open for submissions, here is a unlisted link of some of my tracks, you know, and send that, and that's it. That's all I gotta do. You mean publisher? No, this is like fully on like an independent level. This is what I was doing during COVID, actually, to like try to get my stuff out there. And I reached out to a bunch of libraries, and yeah, I think out of like 20, like 5 or 6 responded, and all those I'm working with for different projects nowadays. Yeah. Are you submitting to CBS through Kill the Messenger? No, that's not. Nope. I'm doing it through an independent thing. I have a partnership with a label. I have a partnership with a library, and with them, I do like one-off projects, and this is just another one of those where I'm like, hey, like I have this idea. We did like a sports project before, but I'm doing another one with them because they said the first one is performing okay. Like we're getting some good download traction, and we're getting some good stuff going. So yeah, trying to do another one with them just to see how it goes. Doug, get it. What are the library? What's the difference between? I think you just need to learn a little bit more about sync than if you don't know. Yeah, sync is gonna be different from a publisher. If you're working with like a publisher, like you can't be pitching to an album, or sorry, you can't be pitching to a library because the library is essentially acting as your publisher for the specific songs you send them for sync. Um, if you're signed under a pub deal, then you're kind of you can't do anything really. Like it's really up to your publisher to be finding those opportunities for you. Um, yeah, just to keep it very simple. Like for sync, it's like it's beneficial if you're like independent because you could be pitching to different opportunities, different libraries, and different quote unquote briefs where they're like, hey, we want a song that sounds like this. We'll pay you like $5,000 if you get accepted. Great, you know. Okay, I think we fixed Ableton. Hopefully it works now. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, if you're curious and you have like questions, check out my YouTube page. I have I'm doing like an ongoing series where we try to cover every topic about sync. So check that playlist out. I think it'll help answer some of the questions you might have, and go from there. Yeah. But Google is helpful too. There's a lot of misinformation on Google with like payments and like how much you're actually going to make. A lot of like TV sync, you know, the general like low quality, not really low quality, but like low viewership kind of stuff that isn't like a big show. That stuff is not generating a lot of money. That's going to be fully like back end royalties, and you might see like a good amount in your PRO statements. So yeah. How do you submit music to a label for soundtracks? That's not a thing. They're not looking for stuff like that, dude. Yeah. They're never looking for like open submissions like that unless it's for like a specific brief. And that would always be through another company just because of the legalities to it. What the fuck is happening with it? Okay, this is not good. Why is S not soloing? Keeps going back to Keyscape. Okay, I'm gonna duplicate it and then delete this one. Okay, that fixed it. Something was wrong with whatever the fuck Keyscape was doing. We're good now. Yeah, but Duke, yeah, for soundtracks, like they have a network of composers. Like they're not looking for like random people on the internet to send them songs. Like that's not what it's for. They're working with like a closed knit network of, hey, this guy wrote for this show. Let's get him on this other show. So yeah. Okay, maybe the ghost notes are not working for this one. Yep, basically. It's solely because like people will leak shit all the time, and it's like for them, they're like, hey, we want to work with a composer that has like a track record, right? And like the way to get your foot in the door is you work with stuff that's like not super big yet. So that's basically like, hey, like let's work with a student film. Okay? Why are the plugins? Ableton's freaking out, guys. One sec, I gotta re-enter. One sec. Yeah. So, I would recommend like working on student films. Like if you're near college and they have like a video production major, they have something where you can get, work on student films. That's your way in. Like, hey, my name is blank. I am a producer. If you're looking for a composer, I'd love to help with whatever projects you're working on. Yeah. Well, Ableton over FL, there's no personal, like, it's whatever DAW works best for you. Yeah. I've never used FL, and the reason why is because I don't have a PC. And they just, like, it's been recent where they've had it available on a Mac. Yeah. I've been producing since, like, 2014, 2015. So, like, nothing was really, like, accessible, I would argue. Like, if you wanted to have FL on your computer, you'd have to run, like, some weird proxy to have, like, the Windows operating system to then have it available to then, yeah, it's a whole thing. But now it's available on Mac. So, like, yeah, I don't really, yeah. I'm fast enough with Ableton. I don't want to have to learn another DAW. Like I don't think I would gain anything, you know. There might be some stuff that's faster and cooler, but I don't really think it's worth the time. Like if you're going to dump, it's essentially like trying to learn a language, but it's almost like the same language where like you could spend like a year learning another DAW, or you can just get really freaking good at the one you've been spending, you know, whatever hours on already. So yeah, that's what I would do. Honestly, I don't think it's worth like really trying to hyperfixate. And okay, Ableton's just freaking out now. Just give me a second. But yeah. But if you're a producer and you're interested in sync, we're running like a sync album submission thing for a project with CBS. Same album. I'm trying to get other producers on it to co-write and collab with them. So if you have any ideas that are kind of similar to this one, anything that's like brass heavy, any like orchestrated stuff that like is just like a work in progress, isn't finished, it's not available or streaming anywhere else, then yeah, submit. I have a link in my on my page somewhere, or a there's a video on my page explaining it. It's going to be like as the front cover title or whatever. That has all the details. Just go there, submit, and we're trying to get entries until the end of January. Yeah. And not saying we're going to accept everything. You know, obviously, like we're trying to make sure the quality is still good. But yeah. Just looking for ideas though. We're not looking for rappers. We're not looking for full songs. Like that's not what we want. We want like background kind of stuff. Yeah. Is there money? It's all back end. No, there's no upfront fee, dude. Yep. Nope. Not for that stuff. Like not for that. Nope. I need like a shittier string sound. As mean as that sounds, I need one that's like not real. I need a faker one so it has a little bit more of a punch. Expand is a really good library for that. It's like a garbage. What am I trying to say? It's a entry level Omnisphere. Like it has a lot of stuff that's in it. That's like not bad. I've used it actually for a lot of projects, but a lot of sounds are not great. So it sounds bad in a good way. If it can load fast too, that'd be nice. I don't know why Ableton's freaking out today. You work on one track and then immediately it's like, oh, I don't know what to do. Cool. We want a pizzicato though, or stabby staccato. Yeah, this is not fast enough. Pizzicato for this one probably. I think we already have that. Yeah, okay, just like this one. It's too runny. Cool. Cool. Now we're going to structure it. We have mostly everything we need. Add a impact. Nicer hit, not as aggressive. Yeah, I got it when it was like $3 or something insane. So move all this stuff back. We'll keep the piano, the low piano at least. Cool. Yep, sports, something. Sports. Good crash. Cool. We're at like a trap fill here. I just really need to make some of these fills, to be honest, like just to speed up my flow, because there's a lot of times where I'll like grab one, I'm like, this is not good, but it's fine for now. But I'd love to make them so I can pull the ones I actually want, you know. What's up, Zachary? Thanks for the vlog. That's another pro tip. If you are a producer and you're like, hey, like I have, or I use this pattern for this hi-hat every single time, export it as a sample, put it in a folder, and then use it. Use it. There's no wrong thing to make your own samples, even if you're using copyrighted material. Like, what I mean by that is don't steal shit, but like if you're making something and you're using like a splice, you know, one shot, make your own sample, you know, make your own pattern, save it, you know, as long as you don't sell it, like you can do whatever you want with it. Yep. Reverse would be cool. Let me see. But also too, if you are interested in sync and you're like, man, like I don't know what I'm doing, all these tutorials on YouTube are not telling me anything. I'm still accepting students for a sync like mentorship for the rest of this year. It's like a monthly kind of thing where we meet 4 times a month. I go over different tracks and different feedback for your material, and we try to create like a strategy to land placements. So pretty much after 6 months, like you'll get your first placement. That doesn't mean it's going to be like a big one, might be a small one, but it's your first cut is in the first 6 months. Yeah. It mainly takes that long because a lot of times when people are submitting tracks or like, wow, this song is really good, I think it could be syncable. It it isn't, or it's like it just needs a little bit of work and fine tuning, and that takes a while. So if that sounds cool to you, send me a DM on TikTok and I'll send you the details. It costs $300 a month, so it is a little bit expensive and might not be in some of your budgets, but I think it's worth it. I pretty much am an open book for that entire process. One of the students I had before is working with Netflix on some trailers. He does a lot of stuff in that department, and I think he's still working on his first one, but he's getting them sent directly, so it's like a nice, cool switch. So yeah. And then another student, we're just mainly working on like his catalog right now. He has stuff that's like syncable, but we're just trying to get him used to producing more so that he can start submitting stuff by himself. Yeah. That's cool. They're just piano. We actually don't need the string. We actually need the hat. I need something to... I would be here forever if I did that. Uh, good XM, unfortunately. Yeah, it just depends on the library. Like, I think if you have a question, like you're working with a specific library, just ask them, like, hey, I want to submit more tracks, or I'm, interested in doing this brief. Like, is there like a certain structure you guys want? Is there certain things you need? Ask them. That's really like what it comes down to. I think having that open relationship is really important. If they're not opening your emails and they're not responding to you, they're not a good library. Is really what I would say flat out. It's a team based thing. Even when it doesn't feel like it, they're supposed to be helping you as much as they can. And if they're not doing that, then let's do this actually. Oh, I had a riser. This one's almost done. You're working with a library that charges you? Bro, what? Wait, what? Please tell me that you're kidding, right? They're not charging you to submit. That's crazy. Oh, you don't work at okay, yeah. Okay. I was like, bro, that's insane. Cool. Yeah. So, from personal experience, none of those libraries that charge like money, like, hey, you got to pay, like, unless it's like a reputable service, like a lot of those libraries that are popping up now where it's like, hey, you got to pay for a submission. Trash. Not worth it. Like, you're paying what, $5-10 to submit your track, and like they might listen to it, One second. Sorry. What I'm saying by that is, like, unless you're getting something in return for your entry cost, it's not worth it. It's not going to be worth dumping that money. Taxi's fine because they give feedback and they're reputable and they're older. That's fine. Like, it's more of these like random services that are like, oh, like we can promise this, we can promise that. It's like they don't lead anything. Like Songtrader, I'm just gonna call them out, like garbage. Like they have briefs. I don't even think they accept briefs anymore. You have to have a account with them to submit, and it's like there's no anything, right? So, and the only way you find out about that is through like reviews or through other people that are gonna say or make a video or post something about it on like a forum. Music Library Report is a great place. Link on my page or in my bio, you can check out. I would sign up with them just to vet libraries. I kind of want to resample this again. Let me commit to audio. Thank you so much, Uncle Boogies. Thank you so much, Kaon. Yeah, that's like, I would use that as a resource. If you are interested in sync, like it's a good way to generate income for your music. Great way to, get other ways to monetize it is really what it comes down to. I didn't have to use this too. I didn't have to flatten it to audio and then pitch it up. I could have just used something like SoundShifter that'll do kind of the same thing. But yeah, it's a good setup. A disco. Disco is really good. I would recommend, at minimum, have a disco just to be like able to check if people are actually opening your emails and to see like who's actually listening and opening your stuff. Yeah. Use the link in my bio. You can save like 10% or something. Yeah. Use my affiliate link. But yeah, I use it for everything. Yeah, it's a great thing. Great thing to use. And I'm not just saying that because I make like 3 cents when you guys use the link. It is something you want to use just to track your progress. Like, hey, if I submit to this library, did they open my email? Did they not? Move on to the next one, because for a lot of these things, especially for the exclusive libraries where like they're going to have like a percentage of the track or whatever, or more stake in it and more kind of red tape, they're not going to open the email and you have a song that's like you think can get placed with another library. Like, you just want to have the chance to do that if they're not responding, is what it comes down to. Okay, let's see if I can add like one more thing to this. Like a shout could be cool. You gotta warp it a little bit. And then like slap echo it and then radio filter it. Turn it down. It's not there. One sec. Let me see if I can add it. Or should, let me double check actually. Yeah, it should just be like a disc. It should be at the very bottom. May Clinton. Where is it? Maybe not. Let me see. No, not Boombox. Yeah, disco at the very bottom. And then I think just disco's right there. Yeah. Yep, at the very bottom. Very, 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 very bottom of the thing. Yeah. Do you prefer to work exclusive or non-exclusive libraries? It depends. Exclusive libraries, like I've been with a couple, and with those, like I don't really spend. I don't know. It's hard to say. There's a strategy for both. I don't really do a ton of like outreach for sync anymore because I'm only with a few libraries, and I try to submit to the briefs that they send. But I think coming like the later parts of this year, I'm probably gonna be doing more exclusive stuff just because the payouts are better, and I want to do more work in the field that isn't gonna be red taped, so. Okay. Another thing here. Cool. Ableton Gang, what's up, Wall? How you doing? Oh my god, it's late. I gotta make lunch, guys. I gotta make lunch soon. I always thought I know the person doing this is getting paid. What do you mean? What? I'm confused if that's a statement or a question or the beginning. Sure. I don't know why these are all super loud. No, yeah. Oh, so it's the same way. It's like essentially a company will pay a license similar to like a beat license to use your music. That's kind of the upfront fee you might get, and then you get back end. So for this stuff, there actually is no upfront fee. It's all going to be back end money generated from viewership, because it's like lower tier sync stuff. If you think about how much music is actually utilized in different media, like there's a lot of stuff that like is needed, but there just isn't like a huge amount of money associated with it because of the nature of it. That's a really pretentious way of saying it. Basically, like sometimes there's budget for music and sometimes there isn't, and because of that, there are certain situations where like a track like this might get used in a commercial, or used in a not used in a commercial, used in a an ad. No, used in like a sports broadcast, and the sports broadcast doesn't have a lot of money, so they're like, hey, like we can use the track, like we'll give you a cue sheet, and then you'll make your money that way through like the passive license that they already are paying. So yeah, brass tabs are a little repetitive. That is the whole point, my dude. We're not trying to reinvent the wheel here. We're trying to be as repetitive as possible. It's a max. They're using 30 seconds of it. The whole point is that the energy is up there. Yeah. Do you ever use Splice for strictly MIDI? Splices are pretty much a no-go for libraries. Yeah. Because they can't control the licensing. Same with like if you're like a beat licenser, right? If you make beats and you sell them on like BeatStars or Airtable or Airbed or whatever, they can't accept that either because they don't know how many people license that beat. Unless you're selling an exclusive license and it's like, hey, I'm working with this like one person on this one track and they only have access to it. Other situations, it ends up being a little bit tricky. So. And we're going to mix it real quick. No, you're wrong. Good XM. Yeah. You're very wrong. Yep. It's not even because like it doesn't matter what Splice says, like, oh, like it's a thing. That's like solely for content ID. 90% of libraries will not accept a submission if you have like a melodic loop in there that's not changed. Or if it's like slightly changed or altered, like if there's any sort of melodic loop, you're fucked. Yeah. That's different. BeatStars is completely different. That's not even relevant to sync. Yeah. I'm solely speaking for like if you were working with like a network and they're like, hey, like we want tracks that sound like this, and you basically just took a Splice sample and you added drums to it and they accepted it, like it's a little bit iffy for them. And that's not saying like it's legally bad. It's just that they don't want to have the liability of getting sued later on. That's really what it comes down to. Like it's not even like you're not breaking the law. It's just that, hey, like we don't accept submissions that have Splice because of issues. Exactly, Lance. Like Lance, yeah. All my placements, they ask, yeah, exactly. Because it's just like no one wants to be fronting the bill for a sample that a producer might have ripped from YouTube where they didn't get clearance, and it's like, oh, it's old, right? Like that's how it works. That's not. No, it's a big no. And I would argue nowadays, like there's easier ways to like either make a sample or getting stuff that sounds like similar, however you want to interpret that. So there's ways like not around it, but there's ways to like still create similarly without pulling from material. That's going to be ambiguous in terms of the copyright. What's good, Jesse? How you doing, dude? Kato joined in the perfect time. I don't think Kato's in here. What? Yep, that's pretty much. I mean, Splice is everyone uses it in the industry because it's just a cheat code. It saves time and it doesn't. It's really just that. It saves time. Like, can you imagine being able to pull up like an instant idea or inspiration for a track you might be working on? It's like, that's amazing. You know, why would you not pay for that or subscribe to that? On the other hand of it, it's like it gets really, really tricky when you are trying to own the master recording rights. And it's like, hey, like I made this by myself, but I used a splice sample, and it's like 95% of the track. Like, you can run into issues because of that. So, yeah. We're not the hard way. Yeah, labels don't fuck around. But like, it's almost like it's solely so they can protect their ass. You know, that's why it's there. That's why they have that. But who knows? I haven't really done a lot of stuff on the label side. Even like the Korean stuff and the Japanese stuff I've done, like a lot of it's been fine because it's like I know I'm not ripping like a well-known or something from YouTube. You know, I'm not doing that because that's just not a good idea. Like, you're gonna leave yourself up to too much exposure. Who's this? Oh, this is the brass. Okay. It's like, what is this? I probably could switch up the fills, but maybe later. And this I need to turn way down. This ghost note is too loud still. The 808's also probably a little bit too loud. Yeah, it's clipping. And then this one. Nice Lance. Yeah, it's like there's ways around it. I've bought packs before from people that are like kind of weird with the copyright stuff, where it's like, oh, like, you know, if you're using it as an independent label or if you're licensing it independently, there's no huge fee. But it's like the minute you ask for like a big, like, hey, I got a label cut with the sample you picked, like, you're kind of fucked. I don't know. There's just not really like a good way around that, because they'll be like, hey, we want 20%, or you got to negotiate the percentage. It's like, dude, like, what? You know, like, that's when it's a little iffy, where I'm like, I don't really know the middle ground of that. Like, sure, you made the sample, but like, unless I'm like blatantly just not doing anything with it, like, I don't know how fair of a balance that is, you know? It's just not really something that makes a ton of sense in my mind. Like, but it could be, you know, I don't know. It depends. Like, from sample artists, like, oh yeah, like, I made the sample, like, give me 20%. And I'm like, but what? What? I don't know. Obviously, like, everyone's mouth has to get fed, but like, if you're paying $50 for a sample pack and now they're asking for more money afterwards, even though like you already pay them, it's just a little bit weird. I don't know. It could just be the way that works and people are okay with it, but I don't know. You know. Like, I wouldn't pay $50 for like a sample. I wouldn't pay like, I wouldn't give someone like 10 to 20% of a record if they just made like the drum loop. Like, that's crazy. Unless you're working with them directly, you know, unless you have them like in the room with you and you're like collaborating, it just doesn't feel like it's fair. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Yeah. Music splits suck unless you're the artist. You got to work with better people. I feel like they're treating you bad if you have the mentality. Yeah. We're actually going to use some synths here to make it not boring. A contact over 10 to 20. What does that mean? What? No, the other. I was gonna use the other chicken. The thighs, maybe. Probably one. One is good. Yeah, just a big one though. Sorry, I'm cooking dinner tonight. My wife was asking because I picked out the wrong chicken to defrost. So we will hopefully eat the right one tonight. I'm making a oyaku, which is like egg, chicken. It's gas. Thank you so much, CBR, for the heart, man. Appreciate you, man. Thank you for the gift. The brass end is all dry. Yeah, it's very dry, but that's because everything else is super wet. So thank you so much, Giving Moon, for sending something. I'll check. I'll give it a look. Yep. Okay. The UAD amps are pretty fun to use if you guys are looking for some cool instrument amps. I got them because they're like $5-10 each. And some of them are cool, some of them are a little bit too crazy. I might just use something else like a replica here. Oh man, okay. Maybe if I use like an IR reverb. Just for the second half. And then add a core synth. Downbeat thing. Jeez, that's way too and chorus it or something. Cool. Not loud enough. What is... Go for the piano. Nice. Thanks. We think the same. You have good taste. And where do I do the side chain? Okay. It's a little muddy still. Ableton, do you have any tutors that have introduction? YouTube, dude. Check out my YouTube page. I have all my full-length tutorials there. Best advice, if you want to get faster though, is try to produce every day, even for an hour. See how fast you can make a beat is really what it comes down to. And like if you're going here and like clicking and dragging stuff, think of like, wow, there's probably a faster way to do it. And usually there is. So I do recommend. It took me like 6 months to learn all the shortcuts and hotkeys for Ableton. It is worth it. I can guarantee you. You might think like, wow, this is such a waste of time. No, it'll save you so much time. And what I mean by that is like, if you click on something and you're like, well, how do I do that faster? Go up here to the view section and then you can see exactly what the key command would be to make that thing occur and happen. Damn, cold cuts with the commentary. I dig it. Basketball sounds? No, that's too much. Too busy. We want it to be a background underscore. So this is actually still muddy, so I'm gonna clean it. Have you made music for? Funny enough, soccer, a lot of soccer. Nexa, I think, Nexa CA. Yeah, for like CBS stuff, like sports stuff, like you don't really know what the usage is. You just see like a statement that comes up on from your PRO that's like, hey, like we used this song in this broadcast, but there's no like way to really track it. Basketball songs in the pocket, too busy. We were too busy. They don't like that stuff too, honestly. Like the gimmicky kind of sound design. Like, because I know what you mean. Like it could be cool, but like. BandLab is really good. Yeah, BandLab's cheap, good to use. All right, boys and girls, I'm going to take a break because I need to eat lunch and it's late. So thank you guys for hopping in. Thank you guys for joining. I'm gonna be probably live again this weekend. Actually, funny enough, I'm gonna be working on some tracks for a trip to Korea. And we're gonna see how that goes. I'm gonna try to be as live as long as I can. Try to crank out as much tracks. Today we cranked out, I think, 1.5. So this one's like almost done. Usually what I like doing is exporting it and then listening to the car. And like, unless something sticks out mix wise, I'm like, all right, it's good to go. So yep. BandLab. It's free to use. Yeah, go to my profile, click the link in my bio. You should be able to check it out there. It's free. Play around with it is really what I would say. Don't spend money unless you're really wanting to dive in like as a more serious hobby. So cool. But yeah, thank you guys so much. Appreciate you guys for being here. I'm gonna check the master chain real quick and then I'll bounce and then eat some lunch. It's quiet. You can see the 808 is way too loud though, right? So let's turn it way down. The kick too is also a little bit muddy. I'm gonna tighten the kick up a little bit. Hat's a little loud. Cool, good enough for me. Thanks guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you are a producer and you're looking to work on some sync stuff, we're looking for submissions for a sports project very similar to this. So if you produce and you want to get in on it, check my page. We have the video there you can check out to learn all the submission details and stuff like that. If your track gets submitted and it's accepted, I'll basically just need the stems and send you the terms and everything. If that looks good to you, then we can cook up and make some dope stuff. But yeah, that is all. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. I will see you guys probably this weekend, maybe tomorrow, maybe tonight. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. All right.